Good day, everyone. I hope that I'm audible. Can I get an indication if I'm audible? Okay, I see there's a thumbs up. Thanks. Uh, Welcome to all the students of the University of South Africa, and welcome to every colleague who's here. We hope that you had a lovely Monday. My name is Khotso Thekeza, a staff member and an advocacy of Oxford. Uh, I am going to be your MC for the day, and I hope that everyone who has joined will fully participate in this orientation. Uh, Before I can continue, I would just like to go through the program of everyone. The program was scheduled to start at 2 and it did start at 2 o'clock. So we have an hour for our program today. This is how we're going to request the decorum to be. We're going to allow every speaker to speak until the last speaker. And then we will open for a round of question and answers. We also have a chat box where one of our colleagues will be replying to. But I will just like to give you the program and tell you how it's going to unfold. The first topic of discussion will be application, registration, and funding, which will be done and presented by Mevukati Ndlovu. The next speaker after Mevukati will be Mr. Dina Mutli, who will be doing the overview on production of alternative student material and the computer labs. After him, we will give over to Ms. Nobisa Vili, who will be speaking of student support. From there, we would give Ms. Gugu Zikali to do the orientation and mobility services. Our last speaker would then be on student governance, who will be Ms. Margaret Mutsepe. And then after Ms. Mutsepe has given us the presentation, that's when we would open for the question and answer session. But before we can continue, or lastly, after the question and answer session, we would give over to our director, Mr. Numa Lubeki, just to do the closing remarks and the vote of thanks. This might be something that does not appear on the agenda. We got an information that there is an announcement that needs to be made by Mr. Rachidi. I just need to check if Mr. Rachidi is already in. Okay, now I see he's in. Before we can continue for our program, we would like to receive the announcement from Mr. Rachidi. Mr. Rachidi, over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Program Director and colleagues, students. Thanks for showing interest in all of the sessions. I know it's late in the day. Thank you very much for being here. Mine is a short, small announcement for students based in Pretoria. You may have seen, for those who were on campus today, that the campus was closed due to a protest. So my announcement is that because tomorrow there's going to be a Gauteng session, that we will send an SMS later today or tonight, alerting you of the situation in terms of whether or not you can go to the campus tomorrow. But Gauteng orientation definitely is going to happen. It's continuing, and Joburg, Florida, Ekurhuleni, Vaal, they will still be able to go to the centers to access those regional centers. But Sunnyside, just wait for an SMS later tonight to hear about whether or not you should actually go to campus. But we know that even if Sunnyside might not be open tomorrow, you can always go on any other day. And for tomorrow's session, it is still accessible through YouTube and MS Teams, just as you are joining at the moment. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Back to you.
Oh, thanks a lot, Mr. Rashidi. I hope that everyone has grasped what Mr. Rashidi was saying. We appreciate and welcome the announcement, sir. As we are now about to continue with our program, we are just going to request that all students be patient and know that we are going to keep the decorum as the decorum should be. We are not going to allow any interjections in between the conversations and the presentations. Please keep this in cognizance that the only time we are going to open for questions and answers will be after all the presenters have presented, because all this information is very key for you students to have it. So thanks. I hope we work together on this. Mevukati, are you ready, Me?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Students, like we said, the first presenter is going to be Ms. Bukadi Ndlovu on the application, registration, and funding modeling. Over to you, Me. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Good afternoon, colleagues and students. As they've mentioned, my name is Bukadi Ndlovu. I'm a student admin advisor. I'm based at Sunside registration. Those who knows, I'm at Hall B, ground floor, opposite to application office. So today I'm going to speak about the application and registration. Let me do this. Check my I'm trying to check what's this? I'm trying to check my presentation here.
Okay, Me. We can still
yes.
we'll give you time.
Wait for me. I'm trying to check where I kept my presentation. I'm not sure if I can talk because I'm trying. I was trying to project here, but it seems it's difficult for me here. Firstly, I will talk about the application. All students who wanted to enroll with UNISA, during the application process of the application, disclosing the disability is so important to all students who want to enroll with UNISA. So in that period of application, because I know even now there is still more qualifications that are open, the disclosing the disability at UNISA, it gives the student the chance to be admitted if they meet the college requirements, if they meet the statutory requirements. So when they do online application, we have the disability codes. I think it's 22 if I'm not mistaken. So when they go through to the application, students have to indicate their disability status that is mentioned online. But some of the students, they decided not to indicate what kind of disability that they have, even the proof of medical certificate. So if they don't indicate their disability, it's a problem, because if you have applied, example, you have applied higher certificate in law or higher certificate in education, your first choice, and then second choice, maybe you indicate a bachelor of education, you will find out you met all the requirements for those all two qualifications, but because you didn't disclose your disability, they will put you on enrollment management. Enrollment management, it means you are waiting for space, and then there is a possibility that maybe you don't get a space. So, but if you have disclosed your disability, automatically you are given a space. So we advise the student to indicate during their application their disability, and then they submit even the medical certificate, because the application office, if you indicate your disability but you don't submit your proof of medical certificate, they just put your application on hold until you submit your medical certificate. So we encourage the new student who want to enroll with UNISA to submit their medical certificate and then indicate the type of their disability, so that it will be easier for application officer to give the offer to all students. I've mentioned that it's automatically, if you have disclosed your disability, there is no way that you can put on hold or you have to wait for a space. But if you didn't mention your disability, you will wait until late. So, but some of them, like now, is the registration period. You will find that they receive some letters that they have been rejected because there is no space. So when they come now, we don't chase them away because you didn't mention your disability. We just request medical certificate, and then we submit to the colleagues who deal with applications, so that they can reset your application, and then if you meet the requirements, and then you get an offer, and then you go and do registration. But some of them, they don't want to disclose the disability. That is the challenge that we have, because if you don't disclose, we are not going to know what kind of disability that you have, and then you are going to be put on waiting list. So we request all students who want to study with the UNISA to submit their medical certificate, and then they disclosing their disability, so that they can be assisted as soon as possible. So after you have finished to do application, you receive your offer, come registration. Like now, we are dealing with registration. I've mentioned that the student, if they come, they never disclose their disability, we request a medical certificate, and then they reset their application, and then they are given the offer. They go to the process of registration. So during that process of registration, we advise the student, because some of them, they don't understand, even if they know they want to do higher certificate in law or a degree in education. They don't know how many modules that they have to select, because you will find out first level is 10 modules. So if it's 10, it's up to student. Let me divide my modules. First semester I can take 5, second semester I can take 5. But still, if you know, no, 5 I can't manage because it's the first time, I have to take 3. Maybe I can cope with the modules, or I can check how it works. We allow the student to take that modules, and then after you have passed those modules in first semester, come second semester, you can take 5. It depends with the student. I mean, what are the performance of the student? So we allow the student to do that, but we have to advise first. If you take 5 modules and then you pass all, second semester you can take the other 5 modules, because you have seen that my performance is very good. There is a student, those who are registering online, and then when they go through online, sometimes they don't go to their curriculum, because you find that there is a prerequisite. Prerequisite, it means, let's say if you have registered BCom, and then there is a economics 1501, there is a economics 1601. You can't take all those modules, which means you have to pass economics 1501 first before you can do economics 1601. So on the system, if you don't start with your curriculum, you check, you can't see it on the online. You just capture all the modules, and then later you will say, no, I've registered long ago in January, but my modules are not activated until now. It doesn't show the temporal so that I can do payment. So firstly, before you can go straight to the registration, just check your curriculum. You see all the modules for level 1, and then you know how many modules that I can select, which modules that I'm not supposed to do. I have to wait to pass these modules, and then it's where you can take the second modules. So again, when you select the modules online, there is a space where they ask you what kind of format that you have to choose. So students, some of them, they just ignore that information, because it mentioned that if you need electronic, you click. If you need braille, you click. If you need MP3, you click. If you need standard, you click. So some of them, they will click standard. Later they will call us that I didn't receive my study material. I'm using electronic because I can't see the standard one. So it's fine. We do have a special assistant form that we give the student who didn't indicate during their registration, so that they can capture the modules that they want, even the format of study material that they need. So another thing, there is a student now, those who apply NSFAS. They started last year to apply. Even now, the NSFAS is still open for students to apply. The challenge is the student, once they have done application for NSFAS, they don't go to their portal to check. They are just sending the message that I have registered NSFAS, I have applied NSFAS. So if you come to UNISA, student funding, they will tell you that you have to find out, you have to go through your portal, and then you check if your bursary is approved. If it's not approved, it means you have to wait, because UNISA, they cannot process your application without the response of NSFAS. So we advise the student each and every time, visit NSFAS portal so that you can know the status of your application. And then, because some of them, they don't know that they have to do temporary registration. So we advise the student that do temporary registration once your application for NSFAS is approved. It means they will know how many modules that the student have registered. They will know even the amount that they are going to pay for a student. So please, all students, those who are applying NSFAS, keep on checking on your status so that you can understand where is your application, because I know there are some stages where the application goes through. So if it's funded, don't wait. You can come, you can send an email that here is my proof, I have funded. I just send an email to student funding and then they activate your registration. But I know there is some student who never applied because of some reasons, or they don't qualify, and then because of poor performance, like the student who was registered in 2023, they never perform very well to NSFAS. So you find that NSFAS rejected their funding for 2024. So, but still, we don't want the student to go and sit at home. We have a reduction in ACSUD. Reduction is not a bursary. It's a sort of discount. We request the student to pay certain amount and then the university settle the outstanding. Example, if you have registered 10 modules, let's say you have registered certificate, higher certificate in education, and then you register 10 modules, we request the student to pay only 2 modules. Only 2 modules. And then 8 of them, university will pay for those modules. So the amount that we want this year is 4,090 Rand. So if you pay that 4,090 Rand, you must know that there's no money for prescribed book. It's only to assist the student to register. If you pass, even if you have registered 5 modules and then you pay 2, and then 3, university pays for you. If you passed, we request again, student, that you have to go again and apply NSFAS, because NSFAS is very important and it's good for the student because it's gonna pay for your assistive devices, it's gonna pay your allowances. So that is why always, once you have passed, don't continue with reduction, because a reduction, you will struggle. If there is a prescribed book, reduction is not going to pay for your prescribed book. So bursary will pay everything. So that is why we say students, they must continue using NSFAS, and then they have to make sure that they perform on their studies so that NSFAS can continue paying for them. So once you have done registration, everything has been finalized, you need to do an arrangement. Actually, during registration or during application, I give the student a special exam arrangement form so that you can make necessary arrangement to your doctor. When you come during registration, you have to do all. You register, you submit even the medical certificate so that we can submit to exam. The reason of submitting a special assistant is you will get extra time if you need extra time. There is a invigilator that this, I'm finishing now.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. Special exam, it will give you access, not using invigilator amp. You will get extra time. So that is why we advise the student to submit in time those special assistant form. So I think I'm done. Thank you very much.
No, thanks. Thanks. We also welcome and appreciate your presentation. Colleagues, also let me just request you to be conscious of time, because we know that during the day we've had students attending too many orientations. So please, let's just be conscious of time. Also to the students, I hope that they are jotting down the important issues that are being raised so that when they ask, they hit straight to the point when that time comes. Thanks again, Mr. Moodley, sir, are you ready?
Ready.
To present. Okay, over to you, sir. Thanks.
Okay, good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, students. My job is pretty easy. Once you've declared your disability and specified the type of study material you require, that comes through to our section for us to be able to produce for you. Now, this is not ready-made study material that you can just pull off a shelf and give to someone. It is actually done from the ground up. So when you request something, we go through the whole process of actually producing it and then sending it out to you. So what is alternative format then? An alternative format is study material in another format that is not standardized print. So for instance, someone that is blind or someone that is deaf-blind might request to have their study material in Braille because that's their medium of communication. So they would then request study material in Braille and we would produce that for that student. Now, like this, we have different formats to cater for different student needs. For instance, if it is a student who has a physical disability or possibly a learning disability, then we have formats like electronic formats that these are word processor formats that a student could use, or we also have audio or a specialized format called DAISY. I'll talk about DAISY. I will talk more about DAISY I will speak about DAISY just now. Okay, so for people with low vision, we have large print. We actually produce large print, and this is produced to 150% of its original size, and that's what we're able to actually produce at this stage. Now, coming back to the audio and DAISY, this is not human narrated. That means we don't have people sitting there and reading the books for you. This is computer generated, where we use computers to actually generate the audio for you. And the audio is then produced and sent to a student via link on your My Life email address. Even the electronic study material is also sent via My Life. You can download it and then play it on your player of choice. You can choose whatever player that you are comfortable with. You can actually copy that onto an MP3 player or anywhere else and actually be able to listen to that content. Now, I said I'll come back to DAISY. DAISY is a multimedia format that synchronizes audio and text. So while you okay, it's synchronized audio and text. So what happens is when you are reading, you hearing the sentence and you seeing it at the same time. It gets highlighted. You can also change various different features in a DAISY publication. You can actually change the contrast. You can change the size of font. You can make it faster. You can make it slower. You know, there's various other things, but you do need a specialized player to be able to actually use it, and those are called DAISY players. You get hardware and software players. The software players, you know, you basically will have to use either your mobile device or your laptop, and you'll be able to actually open this and be able to read it. Now, it is a reading format. It is not a writing format, so you can't write in it like you would do in Microsoft Word. Okay, that's the 5 different formats we offer at this point, but we are geared to be able to do other formats if needs be. Okay, so sorry about that. Every time a message comes in, my Braille display jumps to the message and I lose my spot on the on my Braille display. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to the multi-purpose labs for students with disabilities. We have 24 of these labs countrywide, and these labs are situated in various places around the country. So I'm going to just quickly call out the different centers that actually have labs. We have one in Sunnyside, one in Johannesburg, Florida, Ekurhuleni, and Vaal. That's in the Gauteng region. In the Limpopo region, we've got Polokwane, we've got Giyani, and we've got Makado. In Mpumalanga, we've got Nelspruit and we've got Middelburg. In the Midlands region, we've got in Kroonstad, Bloemfontein, and Kimberley. We've got in Mafeking, Potchefstroom, and Rustenburg. We have in KZN, we've got Newcastle, Pietermaritzburg, Durban, and Richards Bay. And the Western Cape, we have in Parow. So these are the centers, and they have equipment for students with disabilities, and there are various different types of equipment that's in the labs. We have things from Braille displays to be able to assist students that are blind or deafblind to be able to actually read content on this device on whatever, for instance, if they're using a laptop, whatever, or a computer, whatever shows up on screen will show up in Braille for them to be able to read. We have reading devices there so that you can take printed material and you can put it under a reading device and be able to actually get that in audio. You can save that into electronic formats so that you can interact and be able to read it. So for instance, you could take a book from a library and then go and read that content. We have voice recognition software in there. So if you have a problem with your hands and you're not able to type, you could actually talk to your computer and your computer can actually do the typing for you. You can give it commands like bolding text and highlighting and saving documents and doing all sorts of things. But you have to train the software to be able to do it. We have for people with physical disabilities, we have things like head mouse. This is people that do not have the use of their hands. It's a special device that straps onto your head, or it can strap onto any portion of your body that can move. And by moving your head or your arm, you could move the mouse on the screen, and it allows you to be able to type and do everything without being able to use your fingers. Apart from that, we also have magnification software in the labs, and this is coupled with larger monitors, so people with low vision can actually be able to see that and be able to use it. They can enlarge the fonts. We have large print keyboards so that it makes it easier for people with low vision to be able to use a computer. These keyboards have high contrast colors as well, so that it's easy for you to actually see them. In the labs, there are conversion facilities which allows you to take print and be able to generate it into any other format you want. Although, you know, it does have errors in the process, but at least you are able to get content as quickly as you can from there. So we've got things like Braille embossers in there. We've got large print A3 printers in there. We've got various other software that will generate audio for you. So as you can see, we cover a wide range of disabilities. The only disability at this point we do not cover is people that are deaf or hard of hearing. We hope to do that in the future, but at this point we haven't covered that segment of the student base. Thanks very much, and that's in a nutshell my presentation.
Thanks, Mr. Mutley. Thanks for your presentation and thanks for being conscious of time. To all the students who are seeing there on the screen, we are welcoming Miss Sophie Mabazo. She did say that she had a problem with her internet connectivity. She is our sign language interpreter. Miss Sophie, you are also welcome. Now we would like to hand over to Ms. Nwabisa Veli to give us a presentation on student support, actually student support. Ms. Nwabisa? Ms. Nwabisa? You see that Ms. Nwabisa is still in, but her microphone is off. She will take over the floor just now.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Apologies. Let me try and share my screen. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, we can see it.
You can continue.
Okay. Thank you so much and good afternoon to colleagues and to students. My name is Nwabisa Veli. I am a lab assistant and I am based in Paro campus in Cape Town. Today, I will shortly present about the services that we provide to students with disabilities. We assist our students to complete online application and registration. We convert the study material into various formats. For example, electronic, text, braille, large print, and audio. Mr. Moodley has presented on multi-purpose lab. We assist our students with a fee reduction. A fee reduction, it is a discount given to students with disabilities. The student should earn not more than 80,000 per annum. I hope that one is clear because people are asking about it on the chat. In order for the students to qualify, they should earn not more than 80,000 per annum. Students who receive SASA can apply for this fee reduction. We assist our students with assignment extensions. If our students, maybe during assignment, they need extra time or extension, we do speak to the lecturers and we ask them to give you an extension, or if you have lost a loved one, we do assist our students to get an assignment extension. We assist our students to apply for NSFAS applications. Students with disabilities should also attach an annexure A. The annexure A must be completed by your doctor stating your disability. We assist our students with special examination arrangements. Special examination arrangements includes extra time and a type of an assessment the student wants. We provide sign language interpretation services as and when required. We assist students who are funded by NSFAS to apply for assistive devices. And assistive devices can be a hearing aid or a laptop. It depends on the need of the student and a disability of the student, of course. We develop advocacy and awareness campaign. The aim, it is to raise awareness about disability and to eliminate a stigma attached to a disability. We assist students with human support. Human support, it's for those students who are funded by NSFAS already. In case, let's say a blind student needs a scriber, NSFAS does fund that. It is 50,000 per annum. We assist our students to request prescribed books in electronic format. We liaise with publishers to provide our students with prescribed books in electronic format. We train our students on orientation and mobility. This training, it is for blind students and partially sighted students, depending on the need. Ms. Zikali will talk more about that. Where can you find us? As I have said in the beginning of my presentation, my name is Nwabisa Veli and my email address is velinn@unisa.ac.za. I repeat, velinn@unisa.ac.za. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Veli. Short, straight to the point. Short and straight to the point. Colleagues and dear students, we see that when Ms. Gugu Zikali was supposed to take over, she was supposed to give her presentation at 2:30. We would like to apologize. We are 10 minutes now behind schedule. So, Ms. Gugu Zikali, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pato. My name is Gugu Mgadi. I am the Orientation and Mobility Officer. I'm Acting Training and Advocacy Coordinator at ArcSuite. I will run through the presentation because of time constraints so that all of us may get a chance to present to you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon again. We'll start by just talking about what mobility is all about. Orientation and mobility is actually specialized training for students who are visually impaired. That would include students that are blind and also students that are partially sighted. Now, orientation refers to your understanding. When you're blind, you should understand where you are. And mobility also relates to the ability to move securely and confidently from one part of the room or one side to another. Now, who uses O&M, orientation and mobility? That is anyone who has a visual impairment. That it could be partial sightedness, it could be blind people. Okay. Now, if you have the following problems or challenges, then you are a person who should be requesting for orientation and mobility. One, if you're colliding with obstacles or people, that means that you have a problem. Experiencing problems, walking on different surfaces. Now, we have people that have depth perception, who cannot see the floor. So if you cannot see the level of the floor, then you have a problem. You need to use a cane so that you can ascertain the level of your surface. People who have a problem ascending and descending stairs, those are people that are candidates for orientation and mobility. When you become disoriented in brightly lit or poorly lit areas, okay, if an area is very dark, and if you find it very light, and that light is a problem to your eyes, then you need orientation and mobility. When you are not comfortable with ascending and descending stairs, that means that you have a problem, so you need orientation and mobility. Lacking confidence in using public transport, you can't see whether it's a taxi or it's a car or it's a bus that is coming to your bus stop, then you need orientation and mobility training. Individuals who may have recently experienced loss of vision. Those are people that are orientation and mobility candidates. Alternatively, they may have been visually impaired for a long time and they need assistance where they are. Like when you are in a school and you have your orientation and mobility, excuse me, when you are at school and you are experiencing orientation and mobility, in that school, you will have an orientation and mobility practitioner. But when you move to a university, for instance, the person in that, an orientation and mobility officer in that university will actually train you. And when you are done with university and you need a job, you need an orientation and mobility to orientate you in that particular area. So it goes on and on and on. It's a cycle. So in each and every environment, you will definitely need an orientation and mobility officer. Now, how can our students request orientation and mobility? What we do is we have a special assistance form that is completed in all the admin desks. When you register, when you make your applications and you say you have a disability, we have a special assistant form where you tick the services that you need from ACSUIT, right? So if you need sign language, for instance, then you will tick and then we will get that form and we will contact the student, we'll make a program that is suitable for that particular student, then we will go on with the training program. Every student has their own program. If a student is blind and the second one is blind, they have different needs. So it's very important that we make a program that is suitable for that particular student. What happens in the regions, right? When we do this special assistant form, we collect them from different regions. So if we have about let me say, for instance, 5 students that are needing orientation and mobility, and they are in Rustenburg, then we will go to Rustenburg and train those students so that we are able to assist them as ACSUIT. Okay, now what does O&M involve? It's a very long program. It takes about 3 months when you start it from the beginning because you need to go with the pace of a student. If a student doesn't understand well or a student has just been blind, it takes even longer because that person still has resistance and you need to be patient with them. We start with sighted guide skills. Those are the skills that sighted people use in order to guide blind people. We've often seen when sighted people are dragging blind people, and that shows no respect to that particular person. We want to serve them with integrity, so we should use particular skills, the skills that are socially accepted, to guide them everywhere they go. And that makes them safe and secured when they are moving with you. So you need to be very careful when you're guiding a blind person. We have pre-cane skills, and those are the skills that are used by partially sighted people or blind people that are used indoors in order to protect themselves so that they don't bump into desks, they don't bump into walls, into doors, into furniture around their space. So they use their hand in different techniques. We've got cane skills. We've got 2 particular cane skills that are used. We've got diagonal cane technique and we've got touch technique. Diagonal, it's a technique that you put in front of your body, diagonal to your body, and you move around, but it's used only indoors. Then we've got touch technique, which has so many aspects into it in order to make sure that you are safe when you're traveling outdoors and you are able to make it through your way. We've got outdoor travel, and that simply means that when we've got outdoor travel, it's a student needs to get used to the environment that is outside. You've got bug stalking on the side. You've got people that are blocking you. You've got garbage on the pavement. Those are distractions that you come across when you are on the outdoor environment. And you've got cars on the side and you are scared. So we need to make sure that the student let loose, the student is free, gets used to these sounds, to these barriers until they're able to cross a stop street. And when we cross, we make sure that our students know that they need to cross on the stop signs, where there are stop signs, because we know when the cars come to a stop sign, they only move slowly and they stop and then they leave. So when a student has been trained, when we have sensory awareness, which we do indoors, when they are trained on the different sounds, whether it's far away or closer, they know when to cross. Then we have traffic light crossing, which is different from stop street crossing. And that is where you listen to your parallel traffic. When the parallel traffic moves, automatically the traffic that's in front of you has stopped. So when you found the parallel traffic already moving, you need to stop and wait for another cycle. That's the safest thing you can do in a traffic light crossing. We go on to orientation to a shopping mall where students buy their bread, their butter, their milk. They go there almost every day. So we start with the shops that the students are in need of, like your Pick and Pay, your Woolworths, your Checkers, where they get the groceries. And then we move on to something that they would need in the future. So when they want to know how to use or negotiate escalators, we do that in the lift. But if a student doesn't want to do that, we can't. Okay, we always motivate, we always encourage, but it's up to a student as to what they want to do, and we go with that. We do public transport as well, where a student differentiates the sounds, whether it's a bus, whether it's a car, and then they would know that my bus has arrived because of that sensory awareness that we use when we train them before they go outdoors. We also provide rural travel, which doesn't happen often because people come to the urban areas and they study in the urban areas, they work in the urban areas, they get married and they settle, excuse me, in the urban areas. So we don't normally do that anymore, but it's there, it's available when a student needs it. What are other alternatives? We've got a place called the South African Guide Dog Association for the Blind. They handle that part of training where they provide you with a dog that is a guide dog. It's called a guide dog. And guide dogs are allowed in so many places in South Africa. So when you have a guide dog, you have a friend, you have a guide, and you also have some kind of a protector, because when you're being marked and they're not trained to be violent, but you are the owner, and when somebody does something that's inappropriate to you, they would definitely, it will definitely bring out their nature of being protective. So that is done by the Guide Dog Association. They provide the dogs, they breed the kind of dogs that are trained for an individual. So if you are a person who's busy, who goes to the gym, who goes to work, who attends classes, who goes to church, then you will be provided with a dog that is very active, so that the dog doesn't get bored with someone who doesn't go to work or go to school every day. The details are there. I'm hoping that at this stage, I'm hoping that my presentation can be seen, or yeah, it's visible. Those are the details for the Guide Dog Association for the Blind. If you need more information, please contact us. We will definitely show you or tell you where you can get assistance as far as that is concerned. Disclosure, that's the last item. we actually plead with our students to disclose their disability, because without your disclosure, we cannot help you. Someone will study with UNISA the whole 4 years or 3 years for that matter, and they won't enjoy the benefits that comes with disability, because UNISA cares, and we try by all means to make your academic year an enjoyable one, a very fruitful one. So if you do disclose, we are able to meet you halfway. So I think we should encourage everyone we see, because I know that there are people who have disabilities and also students that doesn't have disabilities here, but let's encourage each other to disclose. And please, let's leave the stigma on the side. There's no shame in having a disability nowadays. It's 2024. We've moved away from that. And it's up to us actually to make sure that people with disabilities feel that they are part of our community. Remember, it starts with you. All my details are all there. If you want to contact me at some stage, please do. You are welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ms. Kuku. Very much. We appreciate the presentation. Dear colleagues and students, we are going to move now to the last presentation on student governance delivered by Ms. Margaret Motsepe. Ms. Motsepe, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, you are audible enough. You can proceed. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Good afternoon, colleagues and students. I'm going to present on the structure which we are having at ACSWIT. And ACSWIT stands for Advocacy and Resource Center for Students with Disabilities. The name of the structure that we have is Association for Students with Disabilities. And under Association for Students with Disabilities, we have regional forums for students with disabilities. A definition. Regional forums for students with disabilities is formed by students in all the UNISA regions. In accordance with the SRC Constitution, there are 8 regions. Association of Students with Disabilities is a national structure which is formed by representatives from all regional forums for students with disabilities. Background on Association for Students with Disabilities. Regional Forums for Students with Disabilities was formed in 2011 after a conference which took place at the University of Venda in 2007. The conference was attended by students with disabilities across the country and disability units. The purpose of the conference was to establish a national structure of students with disabilities to deal with challenges students faced across higher education institutions. Amongst those challenges which were raised were funding, assistive devices, change in curricular development. UNISA was represented by ACSWIT because by then there was no structure representing students with disabilities. ACSWIT was given a responsibility to establish a structure for students with disabilities, which will give students with disabilities registered at UNISA a voice, and to also represent UNISA on the anticipated structure. The concept document and the constitution was then signed off by the then Dr. Siva Mudli and the institutional legal department. The following are the main aims of the Association for Students with Disabilities. promote equal opportunities for students with disabilities registered at UNISA, play a leading role in the development of policies which affect students with disabilities at UNISA, in collaboration with Advocacy and Resource Center for Students with Disabilities, abbreviated as ACSWID, raise awareness pertaining to issues of students with disabilities, pave a way for inclusion of meaningful participation in decision-making with matters relating to students with disabilities, to directly link students with disabilities with various university structures. Our stakeholder is its student development, whom the SRC fall under. Achievements of Association for Students with Disabilities. To date, the Association for Students with Disabilities have increased visibilities in different UNISA regions. In 2017, for the first time, the association and regional forums participated in a policy conference facilitated by ACSWID, where policies affecting students with disabilities were interrogated and amended. Amongst those policies were exam policy, SRC constitution, and the Association of Students with Disabilities constitution. And lastly, policy on students with disabilities. Refer academic challenges of students with disabilities. Represent the institution at SAUS. SAUS is a South African Union of Students under Students with Disabilities portfolio. Mr. Milolo, the then chairperson of Tshwane Forum for Students with Disabilities, represented UNISA on the structure. Participate in the institutional events, e.g., careers fair, orientation days, etc. In collaboration with ACSWID, participate in awareness raising programs. Here we are talking about community outreach, e.g., Casual Day. And lastly, last year, the participation of Tshwane Forum in the 2023 SRC elections. Challenges. Inability to sustain the structure on an ongoing basis due to academic exclusion caused by lack of funding. The structure is yet to convene a general meeting of all students. Failure to sustain the structure during and beyond COVID-19 due to sufficient data. Disability desk within both the national and regional SRCs. In conclusion, plans are in place to resuscitate both structures, meaning the Association and Forum of Students with Disabilities. In 2024, we will be able to participate in Constitutional Summit, where ACSWID will facilitate both forums and will facilitate. Plans are in place to resuscitate both structures. In 2024, we will be able to participate in Constitutional Summit, which will be facilitated by ACSWID sometime in March and April for regional forums, and in August for the association. In August, we also going to adopt the 2017 constitutional amendments. Thank you.
Oh, well, thanks, Memutibe. Thanks, Memutibe. Colleagues, thank you for your presentations. Your presentations were truly impressive, showcasing a perfect blend of clarity, insightful content, and engaging delivery. I truly hope that your presentations have left a lasting impact on our students. And at least now they also feel that they do belong and they do have a home in Oxford. Also, I would just like to thank the students. This is not a vote of thanks, by the way. I just want to say I thank the students for respecting, giving us a great respect for the decorum of the orientation. So this is how we're going to proceed in moving forward. We have seen that people have been asking questions on the chat. Now, for those who could not manage to ask questions on the chat, we are going to give over to Ms. Dineo Musiki, who has been quite helpful in responding to the questions that were on the chat, to facilitate this question and answer session. She was the one who was facilitating it through the chat. So can there please not be a repetition of questions that were already asked on the chat? Thank you very much. Ms. Dineo, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Program Director. And thank you for attending this session, colleagues and students. I'll be opening the first round of questions. I'll be taking 10 hands on the first round, then the second round will be 5 hands. We are working on time of 10 minutes, so I will allow you to raise your hands so that you can be noted. Okay, I see one hand from okay, 2 hands. I will give for now we only have 2 hands. Okay, I'll open the round. Rikhotso. Let me unmute. Okay. Rikhotso, you can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, greetings and salutations to my fellow students and all other people involved. I would just like to ask, I had something at the beginning of the lesson about finance reduction. So I just wanted to know how it works because I did not fully understand how she said it works.
Okay, it's noted. Thank you. Neo, over to you, Neo.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is, what are the benefits for mental disability? Or rather, what are the things that I need to apply for in order to help me to fully be able to succeed as a student with a mental health disability?
Thank you very much, Neo. I believe those were the only 2 questions. I'll give it back to the colleagues in ArcSuite. Menwabisa, can you please answer Rikhotso on the matter of fee reduction, please?
Thank you, Dini. Good afternoon once again. In order for a student to qualify for a fee reduction, the student should earn not more than 80,000 per annum, and the student must submit a proof of disability, a bank statement. If you are working, we will need a payslip. If you're getting a SASSA grant, we will also need a proof confirming that you are receiving SASSA grant. Then you will submit your document. It's either to me or to Miss Vukati Ndlovu. I think she shared her email on the chat box. I think it's ndlovcv@unisa.ac.za, or you can contact me at vallynn@unisa.ac.za. Then we will share the fee reduction form as well. I hope it's clear.
Thank you very much, Meveli, and I'm still going to keep you on the spotlight. Ricardo, I think you are covered. And also, Neo asked a question of what are the benefits for students with mental health? Maybe if you can just give us a brief explanation of the benefits of students with mental health. Thank you.
Okay, just to add on what I said about fee reduction, we don't encourage our students to apply for a fee reduction, because a fee reduction only covers the tuition, but to also advise our students to apply for NSFAS. NSFAS applications are still open. They were extended till the 15th of February. If you apply for NSFAS applications, you will then be able to apply for to get your allowance, your book allowance, and to apply for an assistive device. Okay, the second question was to what did you say, Dini?
What are the benefits for mental disabled students?
I would like to know what are the students' needs, right? Because I don't want to generate, I want to see how can we cater for that student specifically.
Thank you very much, Meveli. And just to add on what you just said, I've been seeing on the chat box students are asking if a certain disability is acknowledged in the university. All disabilities are recognized in our university. All that you need to do is just to disclose your disability and make sure that you have a letter that discloses your disability from the doctor, so that when you come to us, we are able to know what is your disability and how best we can cater. And also, I would like to emphasize on the issue of applying for exam arrangements. Applying for exam arrangements as a student with disabilities is very important. Remember that our needs as students with disabilities, they differ. Some require different needs and you require a certain needs. So it is always best for you to come to us, to come to us and talk to us, get advice of what is it that you can do. And it's always best for you to come in time. Don't wait for the last hour. Don't wait for 1 week before you write your examination, then you come, you want to disclose your disability because you found out about other benefits of disclosing your disability. It's better to do things now than to be late. Thank you. I'll open the last round of hands.
Hello, Mr. Noah. May I also get the answer for the benefit?
Thank you. You may.
So as she had mentioned, she did say that I must disclose what kind of benefits am I really, or rather situation that I have that I need for assistance with. So my situation is that I would like to know if, since I cannot grasp things easily, When it comes to reading, I tend to have a mind that is not necessarily easily grasps things. I forget easily due to my mental health, as well as in reading. In reading, I cannot necessarily grasp, as I said, the things that I need to understand easily, as other students can. So what can I apply for in order to assist with that, especially for exams as well as assignments and other things? Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that into the table. Any colleagues from ArcSuite who would like to assist?
Okay,
Mr.
I'll
D,
take that.
thank you.
Okay, as we indicated, each disability, each person's category of disability varies. Therefore, in your particular case, I would advise you to approach Oxford directly so we can discuss your needs, and we can then, engage with lecturers, engage with other people to try and accommodate your needs. Remember, no two people have exactly the same needs, and therefore we would need to interact with you on an individual basis to try and assist you.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
Mr.
thank you.
Dina. Are you covered?
So who do I contact? Do I contact Ms. Ndlovu as well?
Yes, we'll also write our contacts in the chat box and also our office number. You students are always welcome to walk into the office. Those who are based in Pretoria, those are the privileged ones. Thank you. I see another hand. Memo Tsepe have raised the hand.
Thank you, Mem Segi. Actually, I wanted to talk to Neo's question in as far as mental health is concerned. Normally, what happens is that, especially in exams, you can apply for extra time. Like, for an example, you find that in some instances, you are not able to firstly write your exam due or submit your assignments due to your mental condition. Maybe by then you would have been admitted to a hospital. So what you need to do, just take your medical report, send it to exam department so that they can defer you or give you extra time or special exam. And then during exams, you are able to apply for extra time, meaning that the exam department will take whatever your doctor has indicated to you to say that this is how you are going to, how much time you will be afforded time to answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Memo Tsepe. Just before I hand over back to the program director, this is my oversight, and I would like to give Nonkululeko just a minute. Nonkululeko?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I missed the contact details for Ms. Veli, and I just wondered if she could repeat those for me, please, because I couldn't see if there was a presentation on the screen, I couldn't see it, and I missed jotting them down. So I just would like for that to be repeated, if that's okay.
Will it be fine by you
So
if we
I
can
think
write?
the easiest is if people could send an email to oxford@unisa.ac.za. So you would actually send an email to arcswid@unisa.ac.za, and then I will then forward it to the people that you need.
Thank you so much.
Another option, Nonkululeko can give me her student number, then I will contact her.
Thank you, colleagues. Without wasting more time, Program Director, thank you for the opportunity. Over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Musiki. Thanks very much for that nice session that we had of question and answers. It shows that we have students who listen attentively and those who are ready to brighten up their future. And we also appreciate them for choosing the institution, the University of South Africa. I am going to request that I relinquish whatever powers that I had over to the Deputy Director, the Acting Deputy Director of ACSUT, Mr. Bekin Ngumalo, to give us closing remarks. Didi, are you around?
Yes, I'm around. I'm around, the Program Director. Thank you very much. Thank you sincerely for the opportunity. I don't take this opportunity lightly. For the mere fact that we have had hundreds of students that were tuned in, at least to listen to us. We know the session, the colleagues started at least at 9 this morning. I was part of that session, and it has been a long day, so we do not wish to keep you much longer. We also appreciate the fact that you are able to stay on until now. Time is 3:20. Colleagues, I just wish to draw or ask you to go back to your notes and just remember the following, that declaring or disclosing a disability is actually very important when you enter the university life. So when you enter UNISA and then you let us know about your disability, then it assists us to embrace and support you whatever need that you have. I think I saw a number of questions from the platform about whether this disability is recognized, whether that is recognized. The university recognizes any disability. You just need to submit the right paperwork with us, and then from that point, as Dina stated, you approached us, you tell us about your need. You say, these are my needs, and we are able to personalize or customize your need and provide the appropriate support for you. One note that you must take, you must know that UNISA embraces diversity at all times. All right, Caitlin, I think is online. Just mute her if you can, Dinewa. And then also, if you are frustrated or if you are unsure about any other things that you might need, it's important that you seek support from us, because the education journey or the university journey can be a very lonely journey, given that we are a distance institution of higher learning. So the colleagues that have presented in this session are always available. I am available to provide the support that you will need. So please reach out if you are uncertain, if you need any kind of support. Number 3, what we recommend that you do, get involved. I think Ms. Motsipe spoke about a forum for student disabilities that has been constituted, that will be resuscitated soon. So what will appeal is that you get involved with that forum, or you can get involved with any other student organizations that are at the university. So this is important, that you don't get bored, because studying alone and not participating in other activities in the university, it can be a boring journey. And then at some point, there are research that shows that other students end up dropping up from the university because they feel like it's boring. So get involved, participate, be inquisitive, just want to know what is happening. And then also another point that I want you to take homework is that as you have signed off and you've been admitted, you need to learn to manage time. So time management is absolutely important. So you'll have to balance now your academic life and you know, over to your social life. So what is important is that you have assignments already that will be that need to be prioritized. There's exam you know, timetable that will be coming, and therefore it's important that you do prioritize that. And I've learned from, you know, because I'm also a product of UNISA, that you know, when I receive study material, I read quickly and I target the assignments. I write them early as possible. I submit them early as possible, and then I get feedback from the lecturers also early as possible. And I can able to learn effectively and also balance whatever unexpected events that may come to your way. But also in this university, it's important that we respect each other. So communication, respectful communication is important. And this communication I'm talking about communication to the university. I'm talking about communication that will take place in our platform, that you keep it absolutely professional and respectful. So utilize UNISA resources, colleagues. As I cited, that UNISA has got student support divisions. We are one of them, reporting to the Dean of Students. There is registration, there is student assessment administration, there is records management, the list goes on. So what we are saying is that make use of these student support services that are available, and then it will able to help you to navigate the university very well. Make use of the library. I think it's one of the highlights I want to say. Library is immediately available. It's at your service. If you are doing research, you know, let them provide you with access that you can able to access our database, you know, your Scopus, you know, your you know, the database, like your web of services. Those are available for you to able to conduct research. So colleagues, with these few remarks, I wish you all the best in the year 2024, and we are hopeful and actually sure that you will make it through if you can able to use all the services and resources that are available that are at the disposal. Also, let me extend my appreciation to the colleagues from ACSWIT that have facilitated this session. I think colleagues have done an exceptional job, and as well as the presenters that have presented, but most importantly, the students that have stayed with us on this platform. Colleagues, thank you so much. We're indebted. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Our doors are always open for you. We are at your service. Thank you so much and good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Ngumalo. Mr. Ngumalo has officially adjourned our session. I can speak more over after the DD has spoken. Thanks, colleague. And to the students as well, thank you. Lovely day. Session officially adjourned. Thank you. Bye.